little test subject. Say good morning. We have Jill and we have Cheryl. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're super excited to try something new and do this raindrop training live. Please bear with us. We just don't exactly know our process quite yet. We have the oils, we have our person, we have you, so that matters. We are going to show you the raindrop technique this morning. If you do not know what a raindrop technique is or have never had one done, let's start there. All three of us have been pretty passionate about raindrop training since we learned about it way back when.
At least 7 years since I very first learned how to do
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when I learned how to do this 7 years ago, we'll just go with 7. I all of a sudden found my new passion in young living. It was so much fun to just see how well this worked on me. So what the raindrop technique is and why I use it on my family, it is a way to help boost your immune system, boost your body to help keep you operating above the wellness line, because we all want to be above the wellness line. This technique that Gary Young formulated by using several drops of essential oils that he had put together and placing them on specific parts of the body so that we can work on our lymphatic system, we can work on our emotions, we can work on our overall health and wellness. The oils that we will be using today is going to be oregano, thyme, basil, cypress, wintergreen, and marjoram, peppermint, aromaceas, and valor. White angelica or palo santo are going to be 2 other oils that you're going to want to incorporate into this, along with your V6 and your orthosort. So all of these oils that I first initially talked about before the white angelica, all of these and your carriers come in a collection already prepackaged, put together in 5 milliliter bottles that Young Living already has for you. I really encourage you to get the collection because it has this pamphlet in it that's going to explain each one of these steps. I do want to let you know that how you are going to learn it from us today isn't necessarily how anywhere else is going to teach it to you. This is how we were taught. And that's the beauty of the raindrop, is that you can do it however it works best for you, what comes to your mind when you're performing the technique, because it's all about intention. Every part of this is about the intention that you are setting forth to help your table subject work through whatever it is they are trying to work through. If you don't know what they're trying to work through, then just set a really good intention for them. Who gets a raindrop? In my world, everyone in my family gets a raindrop. In some other person's world, a massage therapist, somebody who is certified through the Care Intensive, they have clients that they will see that will get raindrops done on a regular basis with them. So we want you to know that this technique that we're showing you today, we want you to use this on your friends and family, because that's what we intend for this. That's what I pour my heart and soul into, is keeping my friends and family's health right on point, right where it needs to be. If you choose to want to do anything other than on your friends and family, please make sure that you check with your county. No, let's start smaller than that. Let's check with your city, then check with your county, then check with your state to make sure you know what are the rules and regulations, the guidelines that they have in store for keeping people safe within their communities, I guess you could say. The reason I say that is because some states have a no-touch policy. You have to be a massage therapist in order to collect money to perform these kinds of techniques on people. And some states say that you can't touch people at all unless you are a spiritual healer or you have a massage therapy license or you're certified. So make sure that you're checking the right regulations, finding your guidelines that work well in your area. And then if you want to start doing this as a business, making sure that you're insured, making sure that you're going through the right steps in order to make this a part of your business platform. Okay? If you want to know more about the Care Intensive, The Care Intensive is a certification program that was set up by somebody who trained and was taught by Gary Young. There is a program that you can go and get certification through that. There are instructors all over the country. You just have to Google Care Intensive program and things will pop up for you to be able to get that notification or those information things. Your room ready doesn't mean you have to have a raindrop table or a massage table. Some of the things that you want to have on hand is a diffuser, and in your diffuser you want to have White Angelica going, Palo Santo, Joy, anything that's going to be very uplifting or grounding you want to have in your diffuser. Then you also want to have your oils, blocks like this. People make them all over the place. Just reach out if you want to know some names. We'll get you some. A bolster will come with your massage table. If it does not, rolled up towels work the same. Anyone who deals with any back issues, you want to support their back. So you want to put this underneath their ankles or a little bit above so that they're comfortable. And then when we have them flip over, same thing, supporting those ankles and bottoms of their feet so it's no strain on their back. You also want to have towels. So one giant bath towel, and have a crock pot over here that is warming. Just a small little crock pot that has a hand-sized towel.
And you want to make sure that you get the hand towel wet and wring all the water out, and then put it in if you have a towel warmer or just a small crock pot like that. Once the person is on the table, that's when I turn my crock pot on and I turn it on high. I don't fold up the towel, I just kind of drop it in there so that it doesn't get cold spots. And usually by the time I'm ready to use it, that's when it's warm enough. Again, all of this is about intention. So even if Jennifer and I might be talking a little bit, we know that we want Jill to feel amazing when she gets off this table. So while we're doing it, we're going to try to talk quieter, that's not even a word, quieter.
All right, so the first thing that I do is I want to protect myself from any energy that Jill may be giving off or any energy that I may be giving off. It's super scary. So I like to use White Angelica. So I put 3 drops in my hands and then I just rub it all over myself. You can't see me, but I'm rubbing it all over. Going from the top of my head, my crown chakra, all the way down to the soles of my feet. Just encompassing myself with energy. As you do these more often, if you're using it as a business, or as a service for people, you really get in tune with what emotions that are running through yourself and the person that's on your table. I'm trying to find your feet. So yeah, it's just really all about being in touch with yourself and your thoughts and figuring out what it is that the body is needing. I'm going to have Jill scoot down so I don't have to reach so far for her toes. Keep going. There we go. Such a good Saturday morning coffee bringer. Got suckered into doing this.
Suckered.
We are going to start with Valor. If you guys have any reference material in front of you, if you want to grab that and turn to the front of the book, right about page, I'm not sure. 33. You can kind of follow along as we're going to do this, but I put Valor on my hands and I'm going to build connection between myself and Jill. So first we're going to work on our vitaflex points. So I have Valor and we are really going to connect our energies. I'm crossing my hands, so my hand is on her right foot and my left hand is on her left foot. And what I'm waiting for right now is just a pulsation, warmth, anything that kind of gives me the intuition that we are connected in our energy fields. And Jill and I are so connected that immediately when I did this, I kind of felt like this jolt of energy. So we are very well connected today. So I just hold it for a little bit, make sure that the oils soak into her feet, that we're on my hands. Ooh, super cold toes. Do you know cypress helps with circulation? Okay. You want to make sure that you are checking in with the person that's laying on your table often to make sure that they are comfortable, that they are happy, warm, any of those types of things. All right, so we're gonna work on her vitaflex points on her feet right now. And what this is the vitaflex points for the spine. So first oil, second oil we're gonna try is going to be oregano. Wow. We're gonna do 3 drops in my left hand, and we're gonna circulate my hands 3 times. And we're going to rub it on the inside of her right foot. You're going to do this technique where you rock your hand, you get your hands up on the fingertips, and then you rock over, kind of like touching from your fingertips over to your knuckles on the inside of the leg. So we're gonna start about a little under mid-calf, and we're gonna rock over.
Do you want me to hold my leg up like a little bit so they can?
No, it's fine.
Actually, right where you're sitting, it's actually good. So we're gonna mid-calf, you're just gonna rock over. You're gonna go behind the ankle bone, and then you're gonna follow along right through here, and this is the vitaflex point for the spine. We wanna open up the lymphatic system so that we get everything moving. The body becomes super uber happy. I love the word uber. Makes me giggle. Okay, so oregano 3 times we're gonna do this, working on the vitaflex point on the right foot. And you're just gonna rock back behind that area, and then you're gonna keep rocking all the way off the big toe. And you're going to do this 3 times on both sides of the feet. So you can make the personal choice. When I was taught, we were taught to do one side and then the other side. Some people do, now you have the oils on your hands, they do both sides, so they rub the oregano and go down both feet at the same time to for time. Seeing since we're on here and you don't want to watch me or listen to me blab for all of them, I'm going to do both sides at the same time. The next oil we're going to use is thyme. 3 drops of thyme. Next, we're going to do basil. 3 drops in your hands, clockwise, 3 times, moving your hands around. Rub the oils on the insides of the legs, and then your same rocking motion. So the next one we're going to do is going to be cypress. I'll get it by the end, I promise. Wintergreen is going to be our next one. 3 drops. Even Gary Young said that every time he did a raindrop, no 2 were ever the same.
It's all about intention. We're going to use pepper or marjoram next.
Jill's not ticklish. That doesn't work. All right, so the last one we're going to do on the vitaflex points on the feet is peppermint. During this process, you want to make sure that you stay hydrated. After the process, you want to make sure the person that is coming to the table is also staying hydrated. If they can drink a lot of water prior to the process, that's always good. And then, oh, don't shave your legs the morning of a raindrop. The oregano, basil, and thyme can be irritating to newly, freshly shaved skin. This is more than 3, but we're just going to go with it. So, okay, so we have all the oils, 3 drops dropped onto the vitaflex points. I just like to add in to just make sure that everything is all well driven into the skin. I take a little bit of V6 oil, and then I just massage that in, rub it in.
Some of the things that I just want to, as she's going to finish up here and have Jill roll over, is making sure that you stay connected with the person that's on the table. So some people stay like 6 feet away, stay within that 6-foot bubble. I normally always have a hand either on them or on the bed as I'm moving around. The very first time that I did a raindrop for a family member of mine, she had never had one done before, and that is one thing that she held on to, was that I never let go of her. I never lost connection with her. And so just making sure, again, intention, but staying close to them, staying connected with each person. Again, it's all intention, but once you have that connection, stay there. There's been a time where my oil bottle was empty, so I had to leave the room to go grab a new one. When I came back, I make sure that I went to the feet and I connected that energy again.
All right, so we just had her flip over, and now she is on her stomach. She's moved all the way up to the front of the massage table. We are going to leave her covered up until I get the oils where they need to be. Making sure that I grab my bolster. Just kidding. Won't beat her with it. Find underneath where her legs are. I'm going to have you lift your leg. There we go. Okay, you can put them down. Is that comfortable?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, making sure that you have your handy dandy notes. I always put them right on the butt area. And then you have your oils. And now I'm going to roll the blankets back now so you don't freak out your client or your family member. I'm going to roll these back. And what I am looking for is that area that, for the lack of a better word, the top of the butt crack. That is where you're pulling the sheets down to, and that's where you're going to start the oil process. All right, you comfortable? You always want to make sure, if you're doing this on a raindrop table, that you see where their neck and their shoulders meet. If there's a crease there, you want to adjust their head so it's tilted a little bit down. We're going to push this down a little bit. You don't want that crease there. The oils will pool in that general area, and it will become kind of sore. It could have some kind of discomfort, and we want to stay away from that. This is a good shot. Like, I love not seeing my face. Just kidding. I want to see you. All right, let's get started. All right, so we want to make sure that they are nice and relaxed. We're going to just light layer a V6 on the back, just to kind of slow the absorption down just a little bit. She sucked the V6 oil right in, so she's definitely taken on oils today, and her body is loving it. You want to make sure that everything you do on the back is light. There is no pressure. This is not a massage. This is a technique where you're just dropping the oils on the back and getting them into the spine. All right, you want to make sure that you are setting your good intentions right now. You are cleansing the air, making sure that everything is ready to go. and you are going to drop.
I always do 4 to 6 drops.
Okay. I start at the base of the spine, about 4 to 6 inches away from the body, and you wait for the oils to drop out of the bottle. You don't force it, and this you drop right on the spine.
And this makes a difference to you guys. The oils that go on the spine and the oils that do not go on the spine. So Jennifer will tell you, this oil, you're on oregano. Oregano, you drop right on the spine.
So this one, lightly act like you have a feather in your hands. You're just going to feather this up. I took the 4, I think she has like 5 drops on her back. I stopped about mid-shoulders because it will run upwards. So I don't need to drop any more in that general area. So I just lightly feather it up 3 times up to the base of the skull. And I'm trying to stay as much on the spine as I can, but just lightly feathering. You can imagine a feather taking it on your back and just so lightly feathering upward. And you do that 3 times, and you do that with time. So the next one we're going to use is basil, 4 to 6 drops. This one comes out of the bottle super fast, so you want to move quickly. If you get more than 4 to 6 drops, don't freak out. You can't put them back in the bottle. It's okay. Just drop them on and feather them in. Oregano and thyme, there was just the feathering. In basil, you now want to, you're going to add in, you feathered it in, and now we're going to add in an additional technique. This is where it is good for you to make sure that you have short fingernails so that you are not injuring the person that's on your table. Mine are shorter than normal. They're not super short, but they're shorter than normal. So you want to assess the spine, and you want to be on the left side of the spine, the side that you're standing on, and you want to put your fingers up on their tips, and how do I want to say this? On the tips of their fingers, on the left side of the spine, and you want to do in clockwise motion. You want to do small circles, pulling the muscle lightly away from the spine. You're going to do 3 times, so you're going to go 1, 2, 3 and pull away, and then you're going to move a hands width up, and you're going to do that same thing. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, pull away, move a hands width, 1, 2, 3, pull away, and you're going to do that all the way up the spine, very slowly, very lightly, staying on the tips of your fingers, following up the spine all the way up to the base of the skull. That's on this side of the spine. Now that you're at the top, you're going to move over to the other side of the spine, and on the pads of your fingers, you're going to push away. You're going to go 3 times and then push away from the spine. So 1, 2, 3, push away. 1, 2, 3, push away. 1, 2, 3, push away. 1, 2, 3, push away.
Why she continues those 3 motions, so you go up and down the spine doing that 3 times. Everything is kind of in that 3, like we talked about earlier. So you're just gently, I know this is kind of backwards for you guys, but you just, not on your fingertips, but on, on the pads of your fingers. So you're just doing 1, 2, 3, and then pull down. And it's not like jabbing your fingers in there. So just the 1, 2, 3, pull down. 1.
It's so gentle that when you are all done with this process, you shouldn't see red marks on their back unless it is their body protruding those red marks. It is not from you using force on the back.
Since Jen brought up like having the redness, if you notice redness on their back anywhere, you can dilute with some V6. Make sure that you're always telling your person on the table if anything is not comfortable, to make sure that they tell you. There's been times where I've noticed a red spot on a person's back, and I've asked them, like, is everything feeling comfortable? Is there anything warm or discomfort, you know, and they're like, nope, it's fine. So pay attention to where that red spot is, because then afterwards you could talk through, you know, oh, it looks like it was a part, you know, above this organ, and you can kind of walk through maybe additional oils that they could use at home.
The next oil we're going to use is cypress. This one you're going to drop on either side of the spine. You're going to start at the base, and you're going to crisscross over. This one comes out super fast as well. You're going to feather this one up 3 times. So with cypress, I feathered it up, and now we're going to add in a sawing motion. So how I remember this one is cypress is a tree, and what do we do to trees when we want to distill them? We want to chop them down. So we're going to take 2 fingers, which are going to be our holding base. We're going to place them at the base of the spine, just like these, on either side of the spine. And we're going to take your other hand, your right hand, and we're going to act like a saw. We're going to place them on the top of these 2 fingers, and you are going to saw back and forth as you move these 2 fingers up the spine. So it's just a rocking motion back and forth, no pressure, not a lot of pressure. Like you're just pushing down, so it's nothing terrible. And you do that all the way up until where the spine and the skull meet. And you hold there for a little bit, and then you go back down to the base, and you saw it down again.
And you're not pushing down with the 2 fingers that are on the bottom. All the pressure is coming from the hand that's on top, pushing it down. And then when you go up to the spine, I'm just going to show them because you can't see. Hopefully this helps. So you go up to here, and I hold a little bit right in there, if they can hear that. So you go to the top of the hairline, move up, and just kind of hold that spot in there.
You do that 3 times, and then you move on to your next oil, which is going to be wintergreen. Wintergreen on either side of the spine, 4 to 6 drops. Some come out more. She has some discomfort in her back, I'm assuming, because she's been pushing all of her furniture around. So we're going to give her a few more drops, and we're going to feather up. All right, so wintergreen, feathering it up 3 times. Now we are going to do a thumb roll, vitaflex thumb roll. So we're going to take our thumbs, and we're going to put them on either side of the spine, off center from the, not together like this, a little bit of space on either side of the spine, and that they are off centered from each other. And you are going to roll over the spine like these. You're going to tuck your thumbs underneath. I would love to do it on your arm. Will it help? Let's go up here. Staying within, all right. So off-centered, and we're gonna touch the tops of your knuckle on the other side of the spine. You can keep your hands down like this if you want, if that's more comfortable. But you're just gonna rock back and forth, and you're gonna go up the spine as you rock. So you're going to start at the base of the spine, thumbs on either side of the spine, and you're just going to rock and connect the hands.
So I just saw that Jennifer was doing this. So after you do the thumb roll up, I lightly push back down on the spine, lightly, just kind of bring that back down and then start over. I don't just like jump down. I just like run my hands down.
It's things that we've added to it to make it our own. So that's what's so much fun about it. All right, so the next thing is going to be marjoram. Marjoram, we're going to do 4 to 6 drops. Drop it on either side of the spine. You're going to feather this one in. Feather it up 3 times. And then you're going to fountain out. So you're going to take the back and divide it in half. On each side of the spine, you're going to act like a fountain, feathery fountain. You're just going to take the oils and drape them across the back on either side of the spine. So it's just like, whoo, and go up the spine, just dropping it up and over. With marjoram, you add in big circles. So I'm going to take a little bit of V6 because she doesn't have much oil on her back and I don't want to get stuck in the process, but we're going to do large circles on one side of the spine. So this is on your left side, and then you're going to jump over and you're going to do clock motion large circles on the right side of the spine. All right, and then peppermint. 4 to 6 drops on either side of the spine, and you're going to do that exact same technique. You're going to feather it up, and you're going to fountain it out. When I'm doing the marjoram, I am usually thinking in my head, I'm going to clear out all the negative energy. I'm going to clear out all the negative emotion. And then with the peppermint, as I'm doing the technique, I'm pouring my heart and my soul and my love and my truth into her body to help her cells know that they are loved and that there's support. It's just what I've, over the years, have come accustomed to doing. And then the next one is going to be aroma seeds, and you do 10 drops of aroma seeds all over the back. So I just kind of like shake, not hard, but I just drop. Aroma seeds is one of those that really calms and relaxes the muscles so that you can take all of this energy in. So I just kind of feather it wherever. And then I grab a little bit of Ortho Ease. One little pump. And then I do this, you could say sliding motion. Race cars is a good way to look at it, is I just take and I run my hands back and forth over her back. Hands next to each other.
And this is one of those spots that you can create your own, depending on who the person is on the table. And sometimes I'll take this time I'll do this. I will, kind of go down their arms if they've had discomfort in their arms. It's all about intention, you guys. So this is the time where I kind of do my own thing.
All right, the last oil we're going to drop on her back is going to be Valor. I love Valor, so I drop a lot for Valor, sometimes like 10 drops. So I start at the base. And I just drop every 2 inches, about inch. And I drop this all the way up to the base of the skull. This one, I concentrate small feathers right on the spine because I want it to stay, I want everything to become and pull into alignment, all the energy meeting each other at the spine, creating a healthy body and soul for the person that's on the table. So we are all done with dropping the oils on the body. So you want to make sure that you get them covered up quickly, but we are going to put a hot compress on the back. This is different than what other people have been taught. But again, we're learning how I teach. So we're going to take that big bath towel and we're going to drape it over the back. And we're going to use half of it on the back right now, and then we're going to go get your hot towel.
Make sure that towel, that dry towel, is on, covering all of their skin. Don't let that towel touch their skin. Again, if you're not comfortable with this part, don't do it. There's people that don't. Just make sure that you're not touching that warm towel to their skin, and this towel is dry.
So once the hot towel is on the back, you cover it up, then you cover them up. And this is called the baking motion, or the baking part of the raindrop. You're driving those oils in, getting them to where they need to be. You're letting them relax for a little while. Staying close. This is at the time where I put my covers back on my bottles. I get myself a glass of water. But just staying close, because emotions maybe you let go at this period of time. They may be feeling nauseous at this point, but that you're just there to support them and love on them. I also, at this point in time, take it or leave it. I say a prayer over them, just, again, pouring more of my heart and my soul into them so that they feel the love, know that they're loved, because they may not get that at any other point in their life, and I want them to know that I'm here to love on them. So this is the point that I do for them, or I just sit here and I rub. Whatever God tells me that I need to do at this point in time, this is what I do.
When I first learned the raindrop, this portion, they had said to leave the person this way for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then I had learned a good rule of thumb was let it sit for 5 minutes, put your hand kind of underneath, and if that towel has started to cool down, that would be a good time to take that off also. So again, intention, do what you're comfortable with, and making sure that the person on the table is always comfortable, because their bodies will either will take that heat in or let it sit there. So their bodies at this point are either going to take it or not. In this point, I'm letting things go. I always try to have a space that I can push out negative energy. So if there's a window, I'm always like, negative energy out, and then I reach up for my positive energy.
And I do the exact same thing. So it's really about protecting yourself with that Palo Santo, the white Angelica. If you do feel like after you've had one of these done that you feel like you've taken on something that they were getting rid of, which can happen. I always go outside barefoot, even in the winter time. It's short-lived, and I just push it back into the ground. Like it's not serving my purpose. I push it into the ground. If I'm really struggling with it, I'll go hug a tree. I know that sounds super corny, but they are the most well-grounded thing. The bigger, the better. The biggest, baddest tree I can find, I go hug it, because they will pull all the energy back into the ground. So that's usually what I do there.
And drinking lots of water for you and the person on the table. I always, always, always make sure that they have a glass of water or a bottle of water before I leave, or before they leave.
All right, so she is cooled off. The towel is a little bit cooler. So at this point in time, this is where you, if they haven't on their own let out the emotions, the energy, the crap, I guess you could say, this is the point of the massage where you're the technique where you have them let go of that. So the verbiage you use in this is your own. What comes to you in the moment is you, but this is a general thing that you can say, okay? I don't do this on my kids. By this time, they've said, see you later, Mom. All right, so as I count to 3, I'm going to, when I get to 3, I'm going to pull off these towels. When I get there, I would like for you to take a deep breath in and exhale with all of your force, letting out what it no longer serves you. Are you awake? Okay, sometimes they do fall asleep during this, so you do need to make sure that they are awake. One, 2, and 3. You want to make sure that you cover them quickly because you just put wintergreen and peppermint on them, so they will get cold fast. So you just, at this point, let them be in their thoughts and ask them to get up slowly. If they need anything, to let you know. I grabbed their clothes. As you obviously noticed, she was naked from the top up. So I grabbed her robe, I put it on the table so it's easily accessible. Just ask that they sit on the table for a little bit just to kind of grab their bearings, and that there is a bottle of water on the table, and just to take their time. If they need anything, to let me know. So that concludes the portion of the raindrop.
And sometimes people will get dizzy because you're detoxing them. They'll be super emotional, so you can ask them if they want you to stay with them or leave them alone. I've never had this, but sometimes people can get sick because they need to get rid of all those toxins. The first time, I always tell somebody, do it at a time where they can go home and go to sleep. If they need to, because some people get super energy from it, or some people just need to go home and relax and be in that moment.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Perfect. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.